Hi, I hope you well. I'm Josephine, and as I promised in our last session, that in our second session we'll be looking at the difference between our job and our work. I want to start by giving the definition for the two words, and I'm going to start by defining the word job. What is your job? Your job is what you are trained to do. Your job is your career. Your job is what you exchange for finances or for money. That is your job. What is your work? Work is what you were born to do. Work is your life assignment towards others. It is your responsibility towards others. The final goal of your job is to get the finances, but the final goal of your work, it is to get the achievement. It's the fulfillment that you derive from what you are doing. I want to start by giving an example, and I want us to look at the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 1 and verses number 5. What did God say to Jeremiah? God told Jeremiah, before you were formed, or before I formed you in your mother's womb, I already knew you. I consecrated you to become a prophet to the nation. That tells us that God always set our future before our beginning. What does that mean? That God knows our end even before it begins. And everyone is born with a reason. You're born for a certain work, but not for a certain job. The work of Jeremiah was to become a prophet to the nation. That is why Jeremiah was born. When you look at Jesus, when Jesus came, he never said that I am here to do my Father's job, or I'm here to complete my Father's job. What Jesus said is that I am here to complete the works of my Father. I'm here to do the work of my Father. The work of Jesus was to redeem human beings. But the job of Jesus was a carpenter. He was born in Joseph's family, and Joseph was a carpenter. So Jesus was to become a carpenter. But what was his work? His work was to redeem human beings. Look at Moses. When Moses was born, boy kids were being killed. But Moses was not killed. Why? Because there was a reason as to why Moses was to be born. And Moses could have asked Moses could have thought that I was born to become a shepherd. I was to take care of goats and sheep. But that was not the reason why Moses was born. Moses was born in order to lead the children of Israel from slavery. Are we together? What do I want to say? Me and you, we were not born in order to do jobs. You were not born in order to work for others. Before you were actually born, there is that person you are supposed to become. Before God formed you in your mother's womb, He already knew who you were supposed to be. And there is something I love about God. Or I want to give an example of a manufacturing company. Or I can give an example of your phone. When you get your phone comes with a manual. Meaning, when the manufacturers were making that phone, they already knew exactly what that phone is supposed to do. And they already test the phone. They actually test the phone before they give it or before they release it to the market. And that's why you're going to find out when your phone comes or when your electronic comes, it comes with a manual and a warrant. It tells you that this phone can make calls. Why? Because they already tested and they knew that it can make calls. They tell you that your phone can send text messages. Why? Because they already tested the phone and they know that your phone can actually send the messages. They tell you that your phone can connect to internet. Why? Because they already know that phone, they tested it and they know that your phone can actually connect to internet. And when they are giving or when they are releasing that phone from the manufacturing company, they give a warrant that if we give you this phone and it does not make phone calls, it does not send text messages, it does not connect to the internet, you can send the phone back to us. We are going to repair it. We are going to send it back to you with our own money, because they know that phone can do exactly what they're saying it can do. So, meaning that when God created you, He created you and He knows exactly what you can do. And I want to say that the reason why most of us, we don't know who we are, it is because we're so afraid of our own selves. And there is this question that when you go to interviews, most of them like asking, can you tell us about yourself? And that is one of the most difficult questions anyone can ask. And many people are like, where do I start? Do you even know who you are? Or you just there because you need a job? Many people will go to school, they will do teaching, they will finish that, they'll go teaching, they'll not get the fulfillment. They'll think that this job is not mine. They'll go back to school, they will do medicine. Then it will surprise them to know that they're even so scared of blood, meaning they were not meant to be doctors. They'll go back to school, they do engineering, meaning they will never be settled because they're trying to become who they were not meant to be. Are we together? So, your job will never give you fulfillment because your job is not what you are meant to become. But your work is who you are. Your work will define you. Your work, it is your gift. It is your purpose. Your job will only give you finances, will give you monetary things, but will never give you fulfillment. But your work will give you fulfillment, will give you happiness, will give you wealth. People can fire you from your job, but they will never fire you from your work. And people are always right when they say that this job is killing me. Why? Because that job will give you pressure. That job will give you stress. That job will give you ulcers. Because that job is not who you are. But your work will give you life. Are we together? I'm not saying that your jobs are bad. I'm only saying that your job is supposed to prepare you for your work. Your job is supposed to prepare you for your work. I have said, people will fire you from the same job that they gave you, but no one will ever fire you from your work. Make it your assignment today to find out what exactly was I born to do. Who am I? And that's why you're going to find so many people trying to tell you that define yourself. Can you tell us who you are? And I want to start by saying that most of us don't know who we are. Why? That's why you're going to find somebody want to dress like a certain person. You want to walk like a certain person. You want to talk like a certain person. You're working so hard to become another person where you're so afraid to find out who you are. I have said that when you came with a manual. You were created with a reason. There is what God intended you to be. And that's the person you're so afraid to find out. You never find your job if you're not trained. You're going to find your work or the purpose or your gift. The reason why it's so difficult to find that, it's because most of us, we allow people to define us. You allow people to tell you who you are. You allow others, or you associate with people that we call dream killers. I love the father of Joseph. Joseph, when he was young, he went to his father and told him, "Dad, I had a dream. And this dream, I saw myself sitting on the throne and my brothers were bowing down to me so they can give them something to eat." And Joseph's father was not a dream killer. He told Joseph, "Boy, keep on dreaming. It might come to be." Those are the people we want you to associate with. Stop associating yourself with the wrong people who will start telling you, when you have a dream, they actually tell you, "Can you stop daydreaming? Whatever you're telling us is not real. Can you be realistic?" Those are the dream killers. Have you ever asked yourself, when you were young, there are so many things you wanted to be? You could tell your parent, "Oh, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be a pilot. Dad, when I grow up, Mom, I want to become this." You had so many dreams, but when you keep growing up, you start losing those dreams. You start losing yourself in the process. You want to become like a certain person just because you want money. But have you asked yourself, who exactly am I? Stop allowing other people to define you. Stop allowing other people to tell you who you are, because you're supposed to know who you are. Stop trying to win because you're already a winner. Are we together? You're trying to win, but you're already a winner. You won even before you were conceived in your mother's womb. That is why you're here, because you won. Let us tell God to help us in order to know who He intended us to be. He's saying that you'll never set our future before our beginning. So we end even before we begin. Moses became a prophet, Jeremiah became a prophet even before he was conceived. There is that person you are to be before you are conceived. Actually, you could not have been born if you are just supposed to come and do jobs. Are you together? No one was born to work for others. No one was born just to be there. There are so many people who could have been born other than you, but God ensured that you're born for a certain purpose, and that purpose is your work. Are we together? Your purpose is your work. Let what you're doing right now, if you in your job, let that job be there to prepare you for your work. Tell God to help you. Sit down. Take a pen and a book. Try to know who you are. Search deep inside yourself. Can you stop wanting to become me? Can you stop wanting to become another person? Because you're very special. You only need to go through the manual that you came down with and find out exactly who you are. Stop being so afraid of yourself, because you're afraid and thus you don't find out who you are. May God help us so much. May God give us the strength. May God give us the knowledge. May He enable us to find out the reason why we were born, the reason why we were conceived, the reason why I'm still alive today and others are not. It's because you have not completed what God intended you to complete. Find your work, but not your job. I have said, Your job is what you are trained to do, and people will take you to school. They will educate you. They will employ you, and they will finally fire you, meaning that your job is not permanent. But no one in this world will ever fire you from your job, your work, because your work gives you life. Thank you so much. God bless you. I hope this is helpful. And if you find this helpful, share it with others, and also subscribe so that you can get notified when we share our next session on different topic. God bless you so much. Thank you.